I haven't talked to the camera in months. A lot has happened in the last 6 months, and with me wanting this channel to be my video diary, I feel like it's appropriate for me to be open about what's been going on, even though I haven't been consistently uploading, and I just want to talk about it. I want to talk about it. I feel like this can possibly help other people. It was all very unexpected for me. It was never anything that I would have pictured myself going through, but let me just give y'all a recap on the first 6 months of 2024 for me and why I went completely ghost off of the internet.
When I'm with my shawty, we be thugging now. We in your city, we be what now?
I'm gonna do this story time while getting ready because I'm not trying to cry. I don't think I'm gonna cry. Like, it was rough. I only cried about it maybe once, so I don't know what state my emotions are at, but I'm not trying to cry, baby girl. I can't. January, I was still back home at my mom's house for the holidays. I was living in Calgary for about 2 years, and every Christmas I always go back home to New Brunswick to spend the holidays, my birthday, my mom's birthday, with my family. So February 1st is when I flew back to Calgary, where me and my boyfriend have been living, and we moved every year. We've lived in Calgary for 3-ish years. We've lived in 3 apartments. We never really settled there. We were never really in a great spot financially. I'd say our second year in Calgary was the best one, but living in Calgary was a learning experience. It was my first time living with my boyfriend, even though we've been together since end of middle school. It was our first time living together after being long distance for years, and it was my first time having all these bills. I took a car out on my name, lived away from everything I knew. I had no family there. I had my boyfriend's family, and I'm so thankful that they took me in as their own, but it was a lot. As you can imagine, 2 young adults living away from family for the first time. We were not the smartest. We were not smart with money. We were not smart with our eating habits. We were not smart about everything. So we had no savings, nothing. We were just going with the flow. And it got to the point where shit started catching up to us. Us not having savings became a problem because when emergencies would come in place, we had no way to support ourselves. We always had to reach out to family or friends for help with anything. Like, we were not smart, but at the same time, it's kind of expected to do that a couple times and learn from it, but it took us a while to learn from it. February 1st, we moved into our 3rd apartment in Calgary, and this time we decided to downsize because it started clicking a little bit. Like, maybe downsize and not get an $1,800 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment when you know that that's not your final destination. That's not where you're trying to stay forever. So we got a $1,300 a month basement apartment. It was cute, you know. Living in a basement wasn't the most ideal, especially with like what we do. Just living in a basement overall, there's like so many pros and cons, and you don't get much sun. It gets depressing, yada yada yada. That apartment lasted 3 months. Yeah. Shit hit the fan pretty much our 2nd week in that apartment. We started struggling. I wasn't working because my man is just so encouraging and he believes in me so much, and I'm so thankful for that. And it got to the point where he was bringing enough money in on his own to the point where we decided that I was just not going to work and I would take care of the social media shit because we both do social media. And I know a lot of people aren't gonna get that. I know a lot of people don't really understand the hype over being a content creator, whatever the frick. Like, we generally enjoy creating content. That's something that we can see ourselves doing for a long time. We love putting our story out to the world. That's just us, okay? And that's something that we're not going to give up on. We know we're going to do good at it. We know that it's going to change our lives. And my channel, it's like therapy, girl. Cannot cap to you. So that's what we were doing. He was working and I was focusing on our socials. But when we got to this 3rd apartment and shit hit the fan, I couldn't really focus on our socials because we didn't have anything to fall back on. We didn't have a savings in case things got bad. It got to the point where he couldn't support everything, which is fucked up because I should have just kept working. Like, it worked for a while. It worked from, y'all can go down on my channel and see the video of when I quit my job, and from then to this year, everything was fine. We were good. Obviously, we weren't making enough to save and like travel and stuff, but we were making enough to live and eat and pay our bills. It was fine. So I desperately started looking for work. I even joined this little employment program in Calgary that they have that helps make sure your resume is good, and it just wasn't budging. I just could not find work. I didn't understand understand. I'm like, I've never struggled to get a job. Like, I was always the type to just go in, get invited for an interview, get hired on the spot. I didn't understand what was happening, but so many people are moving to Calgary and there's just not enough jobs. So we had to look outside of Calgary. My boyfriend's cousin was able to guide him into getting him a job 2 hours out of Calgary. He got hired on the spot. It was very, very complicated for us to get there because just imagine, we're already so low on money. And when I mean so low on money, groceries was a stress, gas was a stress. We were having car problems. Our car is a piece of shit. Our brakes were garbage. So imagine driving on metal to metal brakes, 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours. It just made the most sense to end our lease short and move. My boyfriend already got the job, so he had to go. It was my job at home to start packing. While I was doing that, I was also searching for apartments because this was all last minute. We were struggling and we are so stubborn, but also so open-minded. Moving back home to our family was not an option. It was not an option. We've always said that we would rather struggle together than move back home. Because if we move back home, we don't know when we're gonna get back out. We're already getting older. I'm 22, he's 23. We are not trying to waste time. If we have to just struggle a little bit together and ignore the fact that I literally own a house back home in my name. I bought the house cash, no mortgage, nothing. I have a stable place for us to go. We're not gonna go. If we have to die doing it, we will die fighting. We will get through this. It's not forever, it's temporary. So with us having that mindset, that's why we weren't too mad about what was going on, because at the end of the day, everything could have been prevented if we just had a decent mindset towards money. But at the same time, it all goes back to childhood. You know, if you grow up not really having money, as you get older, it's your job to break that generational curse. I'm not tearing down my mom. That's the last thing you're gonna see me do. My mom is the most hardworking person that I know, and I look up to her so much. She was a single mom. She did everything on her own, and I give her full props on that. I'm just saying, as you can imagine, being a single mom in a country where we have no family, it's just us two, it's hard. So growing up, already used to that. Once you have money, you just have to spend it, because if you don't spend it, what are you gonna eat? How are you gonna pay your rent? That's just how it is. So we already had that embedded in our head a little bit, and we weren't really doing much to grow past that and be better and do what's actually smart. So if that made any sense, that's why we weren't too upset over this situation. We were more upset towards ourselves, because it's like, at the same time, you're already going through it, man. So what's being upset really gonna do? You just have to think quick and take action. Just try to get out of that as quick as possible. And we were doing that, but it just kept getting worse and worse. Sorry to interrupt. I know the story is getting juicy, but you know what's even better than that? Smelling good. I'm thrilled to share a special collaboration with Dossier Perfumes. If you're a perfume lover like me, you're gonna love this. Dossier Perfumes is a brand that's all about making high quality luxury fragrances accessible to everyone. Their mission is to provide affordable perfumes inspired by iconic scents without compromising on quality. What I love about them is their commitment to transparency, sustainability, and cruelty-free practices. Plus, their minimalistic packaging is so beautiful. Now let's talk about one of my favorites, Ambery Saffron. This scent is inspired by the Baccarat Rouge 540. It's a luxurious blend of saffron, orange blossom, and jasmine. Every time I wear Ambery Saffron, I get so many compliments, and let me tell you, I have a friend that can vouch for me. I've gotten stopped and asked if I'm wearing Baccarat Rouge. I'm like, no girl, this is Dossier. I just be feeling so elegant and confident. I'm like, I know I smell good. Next up, we got the Ambery Cherry. This scent is inspired by Tom Ford's Lost Cherry. It's a delightful mix of cherry, almond, and cinnamon. It's sweet, spicy, and incredibly inviting. It's just such a fun and unique scent. It's just perfect for any occasion. Dossier Perfumes honestly stands out to me because of their ability to capture the essence of luxury fragrances at the fraction of a cost, which allows you to enjoy these exquisite scents without breaking the bank. So if you're looking to expand your collection or try something new, I highly recommend checking out Dossier Perfumes. You can find both Ambery Saffron and Ambery Cherry on their website alongside many other incredible scents. Don't forget to use code aaliyah5 for money off. Thank you, Dossier, for sponsoring this portion of today's video. Let's get back to the story time. And while going through all this, our car is having problems. Battery dies. We are not trying to buy a new $200 battery right now, because that $200 is supposed to go to rent, man. So what do? We go on Facebook Market, we find one of those portable boosters. Works a little bit, it's getting the juice, it's putting the juice in, dies. How long does it take to charge it? 12 hours. So clearly that was not a good idea. So we ended up having to buy a completely new car battery. It's April right now. I'm looking for apartments, and in Brooks, Alberta, it's a tiny ass village. Not even a town, a village, all right? Ain't no houses available there. And the apartments that are available do not seem safe to me. And I understand, I'm desperate, but I would rather sleep in my car than stay there. Okay, so that says a lot. I did not like the idea of signing a 1-year lease there. We were just waiting for maybe more options. And then we said, fuck it, okay? We cannot be homeless. We have to just apply for one. Every single time we try to apply, they are gone within that day because of the demand. Like, my boyfriend worked at the meat plant. Meat plant is like, you know, slaughterhouse, whatever, for cows and stuff. And they always bring in a lot of immigrants to work there. So many people are moving in, and there's just a housing shortage. So we had to start looking an hour outside of Brooks. What other choice did we have? We start looking for apartments in Medicine Hat, and then I start to notice they will not let you apply without seeing it in person. So that means we have to drive from our Calgary apartment 3 hours to Medicine Hat to view apartments. We drive to Medicine Hat and we get catfished. I was so excited to go view these apartments, bro, and they were ran by the same property management in Brooks, the apartments that I felt not safe at. So I was like, okay, well, you know, it's a different city, like, can't be that bad. We get there, this lady is smoking from a on her balcony, and then we walk into the apartment unit, it smells like cat litter. I'm like, bro, what? Talking about, oh yeah, the unit's been cleaned. Anyways, I find a different property management and they have completely different houses. We go see this house. This was the last house available in Medicine Hat at this time. Let that sink in. So we go see it. Beautiful, beautiful. Let me insert pictures right now. Beautiful. Like, imagine the videos and everything. Like, I could fully picture us living there. So we applied. This is really like what made us lose hope, honestly. We applied, everything was going good. I was in contact with the applications clerk and giving her everything that she was asking for, and she was telling me everything was good. Like, she's just gonna check in with our references. My references would let me know when she contacted them and let me know how the call went, and everything sounded good. And she was like, oh yeah, like, we're just finalizing everything and we'll get back to you. 3 weeks later. Crickets. By this time, our lease has ended. We needed to be out of our apartment April 30th. We applied for this apartment on April 4th. I'm spamming this lady. There's no other apartments for us to apply for, bro. That's why I'm not one who's trying to put all my hope into one place. That's not what I'm trying to do, but we had no option. I'm calling my mom. I'm freaking out. I'm crying every time I think I get a text. I think it's from her and it's nothing, man. And then we get a response. What does she say? Y'all are under 25, so you need a cosigner. Bro. My boyfriend's cousin agrees to co-sign because he believes that he would be a good candidate. Didn't get accepted. Close family friend of mine didn't get accepted. I was like, bro, you clearly just don't want to give it to us, which, okay, but why couldn't you tell me this 3 weeks ago? By the time she responds with all these, oh, cosign, 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 we have already had to be out of our apartment. We have already spent $200 on a U-Haul from Calgary to Medicine Hat. We put all our stuff in a U-Haul storage unit and just kept it there because we were like, okay, we're gonna get this place. Like, this girl's not just gonna make it take this long for no reason. She's saying, okay, I got all the info, everything's looking good, I'll get back to you. Just fucking, like, just, I don't even know what to explain, but like, she was just faking it with me, and I was like, dang, like, why are you getting my hopes up? Why are you getting my hopes up? Every single time I think it's gonna be good news, you're just asking me for something else. So we have our shit in the storage. Thank God we got 1 month free for storage because we came from out of town and we used one of their trucks. But like, middle of May is when we actually found out that we did not get approved and she's not gonna accept no other co-signer. We pretty much have to stop trying. Like, she's just gonna block my number pretty much. Like, editing Aaliyah here. I just want to give you a little idea on what the requirements were to be a successful co-signer. She pretty much wanted them to make 100K. I was like, who do you think I have in my circle in this point of my life? I'm literally struggling right now. It was just really unrealistic and our chances were gone. May, we're homeless. So can you just imagine the stress and the amount of hope that we put into this lady? All of our stuff that we felt as though we needed during the waiting time was in our car for all of May. There's no way that none of our co-signers would have gotten approved because we tried with a couple people, and I was not just sending her these bullshit people. Like, I was sending her people that met every requirement that she told me that she needed. There's something else. Like, there's another reason why you don't want to give it to me. Are y'all just a scam and is this place not even up for rent? Like, what is happening? Like, if we do not qualify or you don't want young people living there, tell me that from the jump. You had my info. You knew how old I was. You knew how old he was. We are making more than 2.5 times the amount of the rent. The place was $13.50. That's $50 more than what we were paying in Calgary. We're not gonna apply for an apartment that we know we cannot afford. We gave her everything. And I'm someone who always tries to stay positive because I believe in the saying that, like, what you say out loud is what you're putting out into the universe. I am not gonna speak negatively on something that is currently going on because I don't want to make it worse. But when it just goes on for so long, for months, imagine week to week, it's just bad news on bad news on bad news. It's just such a shitty feeling because it could have been prevented. But when shit hits rock bottom, all you can do is come up, but that come up is not easy. Will and I just didn't even know what to do. We were so depressed. I lost my purpose in life. I didn't even know what the I was meant to do. I wasn't thinking about nothing. None of my goals that I always speak so highly on, and y'all who have been subscribed to me for a while, you know, even when I'm slacking on my craft, my head is always in it. But I was lacking it. I was like, dang, like, I'm losing myself. But I don't even know what I can do to get out of this situation. Only 3 of my friends know about this. And I'm not even telling y'all everything because Will and I want to talk about it on our couple channel. It's our story, you know? It's not just my story. So I just want to let y'all know because y'all are my family and I've been neglecting y'all and I feel bad. And it's not because I want to, but I cannot come in front of a camera and fake it to you. I'm not gonna do that. Like, if I'm upset over something, you're gonna know I'm upset. I cannot just come up and fake a smile and just act like I'm having such a good day and day in my life. Like, so I just decided it was best for me to just film what's going on, but not put it out right away. That's another thing. I did film us being homeless. I did film the apartment hunting, the moving out of our apartment, the putting everything in storage. Like, so much happened in such little time, but it felt like so long. And like right now I'm still healing from everything that happened. I am super cautious now, and I don't know, I'd say I'm more paranoid because I'm so scared of shit hitting the fan again. Like, I don't ever want to be in any situation similar to that ever in my life. I've gone through some other like little shit that was little but still big enough to teach me a lesson, and I just didn't take that lesson. And I've been blessed with so many different situations where I could have taken advantage of that, worked my ass off, stopped coming up with all these stupid ass excuses and just worked, and I would be in a way better situation than I am now. I'm realistic with myself. I'm thankful for everything that I've gone through. I'm thankful for all the lessons that I was taught this year. It's definitely not how I was expecting my year to go, but I'm thankful that I got that lesson young. Anyways, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, nice to meet you. Let's have a conversation in the comments. Please don't tell me I've been talking to myself this whole time. I love you so much. See you next video. Mwah.